top 5 deadliest plane crashes. But plane crashes have been some of the most unusual. They have brought unimaginable misery to the victims, as there is a rare chance of survival in such incidents. Number 5. American Airlines Flight 191. The American Airlines Flight 191 crash remains the worst airline accident in the United States, and it also brought disrepute to the McDonnell Douglas DC-10. Disaster struck just moments after takeoff as one of the engines from the left wing of the plane separated from the aircraft, flipping over the top of the wing. This caused significant damage, and it also resulted in severing the hydraulic fluid lines. The aircraft instantly went into a roll, turned over, and plummeted into a nearby field. Investigations revealed that the disaster was caused by faulty maintenance procedures followed by the aircraft personnel, claiming the lives of all 273 people on board, as well as 2 on the ground. Number 4. United Airlines Flight 175. Another hijacked flight hit the Twin Towers, leading to their fall. There were 56 passengers and 9 crew members on board, and none of them could survive. This unfortunate plan didn't only lead to the death of those on board, but the estimated number of deaths on the ground is about 1,000. Like the other plane that hit the Twin Towers was en route when it was hijacked, the direction was changed. Unlike other plane crashes, this one had widespread repercussions. It is amongst the deadliest plane crashes not because of the onboard deaths, but the resultant deaths on the ground. Number 3. Turkish Airlines Flight 981. On the 3rd of March, 1974, Turkish Airlines Flight 981 crashed in a French forest en route from London to Paris. The fault in the plane was an incorrectly closed latch in the cargo hold, which caused the cargo door to burst open in mid-flight. When the fuselage of an airplane is compromised, it leads to a phenomenon known as explosive decompression. Because the air inside the aircraft is much more pressurized than the air outside, a kind of explosion occurs, wherein the pressurized air is sucked out of the cabin. Several rows of seats were literally ripped out of the plane along with the passengers in them, and the floor of the cabin partially collapsed. Because of the massive damage sustained to the plane, the pilots were unable to land. There were 346 victims and no survivors of the resulting crash. Number 2. Japan Airlines Flight 123. On the 12th of August 1985, Japan Airlines Flight 123 took off from Haneda Airport, Tokyo, bound for Osaka. 46 minutes into the routine flight, however, chaos erupted. The rear pressure bulkhead ruptured. This fault caused a rapid depressurization in the cabin and also ripped off the tail fin of the aircraft and disabled the hydraulic systems, which are what allow the pilots to control the other mechanisms in the plane. Without these essential functions, the pilots were left with a plane that was nearly impossible to fly. The aircraft began spinning out of control, and after a terrifying 32-minute desperate struggle, the pilots finally lost the battle, and the plane smashed into the side of Mount Agura. 505 passengers and 15 members of the crew were killed, and only 4 survived. These figures make the Japan Airlines Flight 123 disaster the worst single aircraft crash in history. Number 1. Tenerife Airport. On a foggy afternoon in the Canary Islands, the most disastrous aircraft collision in recorded history unfolded. A previous terrorist incident at a neighboring airport had meant that Tenerife was heavily congested with traffic. KLM Flight 4805 and Pan Am Flight 1736 were both taxiing out onto the runway of the packed airport when the unthinkable happened. The KLM Boeing 747 rammed directly into the Pan Am plane. Remarkably, 61 of the 396 passengers on the Pan Am flight survived, while every single passenger and crew member aboard the KLM was killed after a fire engulfed the plane. Between the 2 aircraft, a total of 583 people were killed. Investigators determined that the cause of the crash was a series of unfortunate events, beginning with the low visibility on the runway due to the fog and ending with the disastrous errors committed by the pilot of KLM Flight 4805, who appeared to mishear directions by air traffic controllers and took off down the runway before he'd received clearance to do so. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.